And now, independent and unbiased, here's your weekly Brooklyn market update with Noah and John from UrbanDigs.
Hello, everybody. This is Noah and John, and we are from UrbanDigs, and it is Friday, so you're going to get your weekly Manhattan market update. But Johnny, before we get to the data and the update, I want to introduce our audience to the new UrbanDigs website that is going to be previewing tomorrow. And I just want to spend a minute. We've been working so hard on this. We've been listening to all of your feedback on what you like to use UrbanDigs for and what you want us to provide to you. And we have taken all that and we have consolidated it into this update, Johnny. And I just want to go over it real quick. First and foremost, it is all about education. And I want to just introduce to those of you that do not know, we have classes, Johnny, workshops, sessions, strategy classes every Tuesday and Wednesday at 11 o'clock for 30 minutes. If you're not part of those classes, you could reach out to me at noah@urbandigs.com and I will get you connected to those classes. If you're a user of UrbanDigs, you have access to that. That will now be on your dashboard. I want to introduce a new series, Johnny, that we are introducing to everybody called Macro Monday. And we're going to start that on Monday at 11 o'clock. And that is going to be a consistent show. And we're going to go over all of the macro forces that we believe you need to know that might ultimately impact the Manhattan markets. And if I could just scroll down just a little bit, it is all about content. It is all about research, and that's what UrbanDigs is, Johnny. If I had to say what are the two things that we do research and we do technology. So that's what this new site is going to be all about. If you use us for technology, just click on the technology tab and all of the tools that you used to see on UrbanDigs are right there. You might see something new, the UrbanDigs pricing wizard. That is a brand new, such a cool tool that consolidates CMA, comps, and building activity, building trends, building matrix into a whole all-in-one flow. It's really cool. I'm really excited, Johnny, and it's all coming tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'd just like to take a moment to thank all of you who have been watching us on YouTube for the last 3 years. One of the things we're doing with this new update is consolidating our videos onto the site. So if you've been seeing us at YouTube, this is going to be probably our last one on YouTube of the weekly update series. The rest of them are going to be, we're going to continue to do these obviously, but they are going to be on the site. So you'll have to log in and view those going forward, but we're looking forward to welcoming you on the site. And we've put a lot, as Noah said, we've really put a lot of love into this. There's a lot of new stuff here. So it's really cool.
Yeah, it's a long time coming. We're very excited about it, but let's now get to the update that you're hopefully waiting for. It is Friday, so you're going to get your Brooklyn Weekly Market Update. That's right, Brooklyn Weekly Market Update. Brooklyn is coming into town on Fridays now, Johnny. I want to get right to it. I'm looking at supply, 2,979 things trying to sell. Johnny, show me that chart.
Yeah, the Brooklyn inventory is increasing, but Noah, it is a slow increase. We're up 1.5% or so on the week. And honestly, the Brooklyn supply is just barely cranking out increases here.
Yeah, and you know what? Manhattan had that turnaround with the supply. They have a net surplus now. Brooklyn's still in that net deficit on a 30-day basis. So I'm going to still see supply constrained in Brooklyn. It's probably muting any downturn, but the story really is on the demand side in Brooklyn, Johnny. Let's shift over. Pending sales, 1,520 things in contract waiting to close. Johnny, show me that chart.
Yeah, and we talked about perhaps seeing the bottom of Brooklyn pending sales back in early February, and we're certainly on an uptrend. But no, again, like supply, this is a very, very narrow uptrend here. And
yeah,
you have to have supply in order to have that market work. So, this could be what's driving the Brooklyn markets. We're going to get into that in a little bit.
Yeah, and you know what? There's some talk that the Brooklyn market's starting off slow. It's not coming back as much as Manhattan, but you take a look at the market pulse, Johnny. It's at 0.51 versus the 0.39 in Manhattan. Overall, and on an absolute level, sellers have a better situation, a better leverage advantage. It's more balanced in Brooklyn than it is in Manhattan. So I think it's more still of a buy side opportunity in Manhattan, and I think buyers do not have as much leverage in the Brooklyn market. But let's go to the weeklies. Let's see what's going on with that trend right over there. I'm looking at supply. 219 things came on the market in the last 7 days. Johnny, show me that chart.
And you know what? That's a good number. 219. You're over 200. You're doing okay. You can see that trend on that weekly basis is starting to creep up. But you think 219, that's the highest number we've seen in Brooklyn since you have to go back to October to see a week over 200. So it's been a long, slow drought for new listings in Brooklyn. And you can see those lines for 2021, 2022 were still below that. And that was sort of a low inventory period then. So it's tough going on the Brooklyn supply front here.
Yeah, well, maybe it's starting. I don't know. Maybe it's starting. It's a good number. Maybe it's starting. Again, we got a couple more months. So, you got 8 weeks, 9 weeks until the season's over. We'll see how high it gets. I'm looking at contracts signed now, Johnny, over the last 7 days. Luckily, that's going up around 12% to 138. Johnny, show me that chart.
Yeah, and this is where things get interesting because you can see the heights of these recent bars here. And yes, we're up, but you can see we're obviously nowhere near as where we were back in 2021, 2022. But the trend in contract signs in Brooklyn seems to have kind of stalled out here. We're sort of doing a moderate level of deal volume, but certainly it's not increasing into the active season as you would expect it.
Yeah, very, very interesting to see the Brooklyn market just do its own little thing right over here. And, we'll keep track of it on a weekly basis and let you guys know what's going on. And I want to go to the chart du jour, Johnny, and take a look at Brooklyn versus Manhattan. Okay, now what you're looking at here is a year-over-year change, What was it like last year versus this year in terms of weekly contracts signed? So I'm basically saying is how much slower, how much down are we today versus last year? And the yellow bars are Brooklyn and the black bars are Manhattan. And you can see in this chart, let me just change my color on my little drawing pen here. Look at the black line. You can see the black lines going up, right? Manhattan's having a nice little pop, but you look at Brooklyn's still kind of stuck in this rut. And that's the divergence that we're starting to see. And that's what leads us to say is Brooklyn lagging in the recovery, Johnny.
Right. And what's interesting to me is when you look at that middle section of the chart and basically everything to the left of it, Brooklyn was outpacing Manhattan for the longest time, right? I mean, those yellow bars were well inside the black area that represents Manhattan because Brooklyn on a year-over-year basis was just churning out deal after deal, right? On a percentage level, they were just absolutely crushing Manhattan. Now, the shoe's on the other foot. And, I can't help but wondering if there's a paradigm shift in the works or what may be happening with Brooklyn buyers. But honestly, the more I think about it, honestly, I think it comes back to supply. And I think that if you don't have that fresh supply hitting the market, if you're a buyer, there's not much to choose from. Maybe you're pulling back a little bit.
Yeah, and value maybe buyers see more value in Manhattan now and less value in Brooklyn. I don't know. Maybe the rentals have something to do with it as well. I look at the middle of the chart here. I think Brooklyn's giving me the finger, Johnny. That's between you and me because I know you were all thinking it. You were all thinking it. I said it. There it is. But no, you know what? This is why we do these things, and it's very possible that Brooklyn's going to be underperforming Manhattan for this cycle. I mean, we don't know, but we'll see. So very interesting to see the data the way it is. And again, I want to just take a quick plug right here. If you have not seen this Bruce Martin video right over here, talking macro from Still Lake Capital, we put that out on Monday, and we recorded on a Monday, and it's been 5 days since then. It's been a crazy market. So put yourself back to time and place, listen to that video. Please read the seasonality versus the Fed terminal rate. Guys, it's a battle. It is between the Manhattan and the Brooklyn upcycle season that's right now and the negative forces of the Fed and their rising terminal rate and the impact, the risk off on risk assets. That's a negative. We're in an upcycle, negative macro. It's a battle between the two. This is why if you're sellers, get it done. Sellers, get it done. John Walkup, thanks you for putting up all this data. I am Noah Rosenblatt. We're both from UrbanDigs. And don't forget, you guys got questions. We got answers. Please visit our forum right down here. And if you want any of the Brooklyn reports that John whipped up today, they'll be right over here in just a few seconds. Other than that, this has been your weekly Brooklyn market update, and we'll catch you next time.